Hey, vinyl community, this is Aaron the Metal Theologian, and today's topic is going to be Jesus metal. So I busted out a bunch of, almost all of my Jesus metal records. I'm not going to talk about Stryper, because everyone knows about Stryper, and I don't have a whole lot nice to say, to be honest. So I've kind of come to appreciate Stryper a little bit in retrospect, but it's still kind of like a freak show to me, because they're just so over the top, and, for every 5 songs, there was maybe half a good one, which averaged, never mind. Anyway, so I'm not going to talk about Stryper, but we're going to talk about Jesus metal, and a little bit of a caveat right up front, because when I do these things, I usually go ahead and listen to all the records again before I get started, and I listen to these. There's some killer ones here, and some that I'm just going to rave up and down about, but there are also some that are really bad, and I kind of expected that, right? But when I was getting started listening to this, first when I pulled out and put on, I just thought it was so bad that it made me really angry. Because, I'm around long enough that I was there in the 80s when the whole sort of, white metal thing was kind of happening as a counter to, the black metal that seems so tame in retrospect, like, Venom and stuff like that. And, aside from the fact these guys were actually serious, the Christian bands, in contrast to the satanic bands who really weren't, with possible exception of King Diamond, and that depends on how you look at it anyway. I just remember the bands that I heard at the time tended to be so bad that I really wrote off the whole category at the time. And so years later I came around and found some of these bands and went, wow, some of these guys are really good, and why did I overlook these great bands back in the day? It's not like it offends me or anything like that, but and shit, my camera's whacked today, and so the very first record I pulled out here reminded me of what the issue was with all that shit. And here's the record. Man, this thing is a fucking piece of shit. I couldn't believe how bad it was when I started doing this. I mean, it starts off at the very beginning with this fucking choir of eunuchs or something like that, with the opening "Accept the Lamb" chorus. And then this little, this eunuch choir comes back from time to time and sort of chimes in the middle of these songs. And the thing that really kind of gets me about these guys is I made it through side 1 and I couldn't handle it, but there were probably 1.5 good songs. So they didn't have the decency to just suck uniformly across the board. Like, if anyone's heard that Scepter record, Rise to Power, that record just fucking sucks, start to finish. I listened to it all the way through once just to see if I could hack it. I don't own the thing, but it was almost like an act of self-loathing to listen to that thing. Bloodgood doesn't even have the decency to do that. They're just they'll kind of sort of get started a little bit, and then they'll just do something that just ruins the whole fucking song. And I'm going to throw someone else in there right now. First Barren Cross EP. Man, I wanted to like this too, because, it's all primitive looking. It's kind of a semi-private press, and, but it's this one isn't as bad as the Bloodgood, okay? But these guys on this record, it seems like they start off, they'll have a pretty rockin' riff, and they'll get to the chorus, and they'll just fucking drop the ball, man. It's like they'll have some corny ass thing where it's like their local pastor said, hey, we'll play you clowns at our mega church if your chorus sounds just like "Our God is an Awesome God" or something like that. And I'm like, dude, come on, write like you care about what you're doing. Write a fucking song that I want to hear. So yeah, so those records kind of cast a pall over this. So as I'm going through these guys, I might be a little hard on some of them, but the flip side is, if I say I like one of these, I'm dead fucking serious. So here we go. Now I'm going to start with a couple reissues. I guess I already started with 2 originals, but I'm going to start with a couple reissues, and with them a little mini shout out to George Vinyl Supremacy, because these are Steel Legacy titles, and I know that George is friends with the guys who put these out, and showed very good taste in doing so. So first one is from '89, Beyond Hell's Gate by Final Axe. Apparently this is only a demo at the time. Very good records. Pretty heavy-handed as Jesus metal goes. I mean, they're not, mincing words, and it's pretty out in your face, but the songs are heavy and rockin', and it's just good stuff. And I think this one's still available, in contrast to a lot of the Steel Legacy stuff. Like this one I'm pretty sure is gone. This is the other one from Steel Legacy. That's this Cross record. Now again, there's no like mistaking this for, you know, a secular band, but this record is fucking fantastic. Sound quality suffers a little bit. You can hear that it was a demo and like never really saw a proper release. And same deal, it's pretty heavy-handed. This one is so epic, and let my camera catch up with me. This one is so epic and just so, you know, well written. You know, there's a long instrumental intro to the very first song, Sign of the Cross, but it makes the whole thing come off as a lot less sort of, you know, Jesus, like in your face than you might think. I mean, this is really what I think this stuff should sound like. You know, if they're serious about, you know, winning souls and shit like that, they shouldn't be doing songs like about how much they hate abortion or something like that. That's more like for making people feel good about themselves who are already on board. And to illustrate that point, let's bust out Holy Right. It's a very sanctimonious record, very heavy-handed. Really not that bad. It's pretty rockin'. The intro will fool you because the intro's fucking awful, and it's also the outro, and I kind of know what they're thinking. It also goes over the edge into the extremely corny with song titles like Satan, Leave That Boy Alone. You know. And, you know, obviously, they don't really look all that tough. I mean, they look kind of cheesed out. I mean, my God, what were they thinking putting this guy in this shit? I'm not used to camera. What were they thinking putting that guy in the middle, man? I mean, Jesus. I think he's a singer or something. Anyway, this record has its moments, though. Singing's kind of flat, but the riffs are kind of chunky, and, you know, I pulled this out, and I was all ready to hate it again, coming off of Bloodgood, and I remembered why I liked it back when I got it. It's not a great record, but it's a good record, and it's enjoyable, and, you know, I appreciate their enthusiasm and the fact that they were really trying to write songs. This one I'm kind of going to gloss over because it's also pretty well known. I know Scott's talked about this one. It's First Saint, Warriors of the Sun. I thought I had Time's End too, but apparently I don't. It's a very good record. Not all that heavy-handed. I mean, you know, again, you wouldn't mistake it for a secular thing, but it's not like, you know, Final Acts, and not as heavy-handed as this one. I actually love this record, this Neon Cross record. And it's funny because it's one of those records where if you ask me why, I'd have a really hard time articulating it. But I just find this to be a really enjoyable record. There are all sorts of things about it that would give it little red flags, like the corny-ass band name, and, you know, the fact that it's on Regency, which isn't exactly the seal of quality. But, yeah, that record I love. I'll give that one a thumbs up all day long. If you find it cheap, worth every penny. Speaking of Regency records, let's go to one that's more like what I expect from Regency, which is shit like this turd. Contagious, Free Indeed. Let the camera focus. Alright, that cover's pretty funny, but this record sucks. This one is really fucking bad, and like, this is maybe the worst looking band I've ever seen. I mean, this guy just looks like he's the fucking youth pastor who thought he was really cool or something, but it's not cool at all. I mean, this record is just a piece of shit. Honestly, I remembered really hating it. I remember this being like maybe a 1 out of 10. It's probably more like about a 3 out of 10. So it's funny because I don't want to... it's actually not as bad as I thought when I was getting ready to do this video, but I sure as fuck don't want to recommend it to you. If you get it for $1, like the pictures are kind of $1 worth of laughs. I'm afraid I think I paid more than $1 for it, but I didn't pay a lot though. Let's go to another lesser known one, Centurion. It's another pretty blatant cover, which I actually think is kind of a cool cover. But, you know, not a secular band. The fact is, I want to like this record a lot more than I actually do. It comes off not very heavy-handed as far as the delivery, sort of the lyrical content. It's not like hitting you over the head with the religion thing. From a writing standpoint, there are a lot of ideas in it that just don't quite fully gel. I mean, I almost feel like if you slowed down a band like Voivod or something like that, maybe Spectral Incursion sort of did not quite go to that level of quality. That's sort of the direction they wanted to go in, but it's sort of like a power vein instead of the speed vein like Voivod was doing. But it just doesn't quite come together for me, and I give these guys an A+ for effort. The record's probably about a C. Definitely worth a listen. I find it forgettable, though, I'm afraid. Like I said, I really want to love that one. But so here's another one. Actually, that's how it is. So, Search and Destroy by Philadelphia. This is on the heavy end of the spectrum, but it doesn't. But it's a very inconsistent record. When they're on, they're pretty good. Songs 2 and 3 on side 1. Song 2 sucks. Song 3 really sucks. So it really taxes your attention span when you're sort of moving your way through it. This next one's a killer. I almost hate to say so because it's a hard record to find. But this one is fucking fantastic. It starts out kind of deceptively because it has, like the very first song, Armed for Battle, is sort of like upbeat and kind of, not quite major key, but kind of major key. And, it rocks, but it's not like all out. But then it goes into this doomy place. Like, not even so much like Doom, like a Candlemass or Witchfinder General, let alone the newer Doom, but like a doomy mindset, and it just sort of stays there. And it really belies all this sort of green, like kind of pep sort of outlook and the flashy clothes, because it gets kind of dirgy, and it's just fucking fantastic. Now, first listen, it didn't hit me. Second listen, I was like, wow, man, that is a fucking fantastic record. And so yeah, this one, if you come across a copy, very highly recommended. I hope you're ready for another turd, if you're still with me, because here it is. This record sucks. I don't even know why this is considered metal. This is probably the worst record on here. This is even worse than Bloodgood. There are 2 songs on here. Rock On and Surprise. And one is like synth pop, and the other is like a ballad. I don't know why the fuck this was even supposed to be metal. Maybe they like ran in those circles or something like that. But this is fucking terrible. I couldn't believe it, man. It's Jesus. Enough of that. Alright, here's another one that's pretty damn good. Valor, Fight for Your Life. Kind of on the speedy side. I'm trying to get that in focus because of the fucking glare, but I kind of need it. Pretty funny cover. Any color that's done in colored pencils is okay by me. This is a pretty heavy-handed record, especially the very last song, Burn, which is like, it's like, kind of intimidate you into going to their church or something like that. But the songwriting is there. The production's kind of bad. The singer's pretty weak. You gotta love the enthusiasm on this record, though. Same deal. It's this is like an honest band having a sincere go at it, and like this is what they were writing about, and it wasn't so much. I don't know. It doesn't sound like someone had offered them a ton of money to do it or something like that. It sounded like this is what they wanted to do, and this was a statement they wanted to make. And so even though it doesn't quite go the distance the way the Emerald record does for me, I have a lot of appreciation for these guys, for Valor. Alright, here's another one. This might be pushing it a little bit to the edge, but Stone Vengeance. There's actually another reissue. There's a Dune Planet one. I don't think this stuff ever came out on vinyl back in the day, but this is actually a Bay Area thrash band, an honest-to-God one, with some somewhat religious themes. And it's pretty damn good. It's, not mind-blowing. I actually was fortunate enough to see them live once. They opened for Raven. No, it wasn't in the 80s. But it was a few years ago now. Very good band. Not earth-shaking. If you don't own Bonded by Blood, and it's a choice between that and this, I mean, you gotta take the Exodus record. But it's a very good record and very much well worth a listen. All right, here's another favorite. This is another one. This is even on the Pure Metal label, so they kind of warn you right out of the gate. But it's the first Bride record, Show No Mercy. I think someone else might have talked about this not long ago, but this is a rockin' record. It's heavy. Just an honest record. I love this record. It goes right through, start to finish. The songs are all good, and it's awesome. I've kind of saved my favorite one for last here, so that I kind of feel bad about showing, because it's a tough one to find. But this is Final Warning by Messiah. This is not all that heavy a record. It's kind of doomy, but I'm not so much sure if it's doomy because the production or the writing. Well, it's definitely at least partially the writing, but the production's kind of bad, but the bad production makes it cooler in a way. It kind of darkens it, and it gives it a weird vibe. I'll tell you, if you want to laugh this record off, it's kind of easy to do it because the hooks are right there. But this record is just catchy as fuck. I've played the hell out of this. I've played this for friends of mine who are totally hostile to the even very concept of Jesus metal. And they go, man, I love that fucking record, and I can't even explain to you why. Heavenly metal, it's hard to come up with a cornier song than that, but man, it's just great. And this record just rocks, it grabs you, it keeps your attention from start to finish. If you listen to it more than once, you're going to be standing at the urinal at work humming these songs to yourself because they're just fucking that catchy and that good. So that's pretty much what I've got to show right now. I saved the best for last. Another observation, though, as I was going through these, one of the things I noticed was that the bands I tended to really not like tended to be from Southern California, like home of like the big mega churches, and Orange County, and that kind of brand of right-wingism. And it's interesting because I almost feel like a sort of a takeaway from this video. If you're going through your local record store and you come across a record that looks like it's a Jesus metal record, and you're like, should I buy this or should I not? Now, aside from the fact that metal's gotten tough enough to find that you probably ought to grab it and just figure out what to do with it later. I would say, if it's from somewhere else in the country, snap it up. Messiah from Michigan. I'm not sure where in Michigan, probably outside of Detroit somewhere. It was still a relatively big city then, but let's go through these. Brides from Kentucky. Stone Vengeance is Northern California. Valor in Northern California. I think San Leandro. Now, Striking's from Texas. She'll go stray with those guys. And Emerald is the exception on the other side that proves the rule, because these guys are from Southern California. Where is he? Yeah, Fontana. Philadelphia, though, not a great record, but not a bad record. They're from Shreveport, Louisiana. Centurion is from Cleveland. This piece of shit, Lakewood, California. There you go, man. Neon Cross is it's another exception that proves the rule, because this one, these guys, I don't remember, but it's somewhere in Southern California. The hell with it. Saints from Oregon. Holy Right, Southern California. Cross is from New Mexico. Final Acts, I couldn't figure it out. Barren Cross is Southern California. Blood Good, going back to the start here, they're actually from Bellevue, Washington, so I guess you might go astray on that one too. Yeah, so that's my little Jesus metal feature here. Hope you might have gotten a kick out of it or two, maybe a couple things to listen to. Maybe I stirred up a little controversy too. Like I said, I was going to be pretty outspoken on this one, but let me get you a little challenge with that. If I'm wrong about that Barren Cross record or that Blood Good record or anything else in there, tell me why. I don't like to solicit comments, but if you're watching this and you go, man, that fucking Blood Good record is awesome, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, tell me what song, and I'll go back and listen to it again, and maybe you can win me over. The same thing happened when I made some offhand remarks in the New Wave British Heavy Metal thing. Y'all sent me back to check out some records that I'd forgotten about as far as full-length records, and I actually appreciate that a lot. So that's it for now. I probably droned on for a long time here, but thanks for your attention. And I'm going to hit stop as soon as this focuses. There we go. Hooray.